What's up, everybody? I'm Mo,
It's your boy KABZA here.
and welcome to the Got It All Cover podcast.
Yes, sir.
Music. And on today's episode, we are going to be doing an album review, and we are bringing home Ikasi, local is REKERE, and
Yes,
what are we going to be doing today?
And yeah, man, we'll be doing the King of Amapiano, Kabza De Small's KOA 2.
Yes,
Part
sir.
one.
Zerski.
Part one. It's part 1, bro.
Part one. This is the second album that he's giving to us.
Nah, this is his fourth studio album.
Fourth studio album.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
3.5, basically.
Okay, because there's still another one.
Yeah,
There's still another one, and
people tend to forget that the Pretty Girls Love Amapiano albums are actually albums, bro.
I mean, but then I think I'd say like when you talk about albums, I think like isn't that a Scorpion Kings? Is that Kabza De Small? Like is that like a Kabza De Small like?
Nah, Scorpion Kings has their own catalog. Kabza De Small is its own catalog.
So it's like Pretty Girls Love Piano. It's
nah,
okay.
Kabza De Small's debut album as a lone entity was Pretty Girls.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I know that now.
Yeah.
The more you know. So
Yeah,
okay. So yeah, now we're gonna be reviewing that, just sharing our thoughts and our reviews on that. What were your thoughts the first time you saw the album cover? Before we get anywhere, let's just talk about the album cover, because I remember when the album cover dropped. There was quite a few eyebrows raised. We weren't really sure what to expect. Like
Mr. Five Skipper.
That's the first thing that I thought of. Yeah, the Five Skipper. Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic video. But yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah,
the whole
and people might think that album covers don't really play a role in an album, but
I think most I think maybe that's just maybe a thing of like some people just for most albums nowadays, sometimes they just find random cover art. Maybe sometimes a good album, if the cover art has to mean something, can't just be something throwaway. So I think without any context, you might think that this album cover is just what's going on here. But when you put it into context with the album, it makes complete sense. You were saying something.
when my first look at it, I was surprised. Like, yo, what who allowed Kabza De Small to do this? Truly, you're the manager. I mean, like the last album cover was iconic. The first one,
that one was
the self-titled album. That was a pretty good album cover. The Scorpion Kings album covers aren't bad too. Where's the guy that did those album covers for this one? But I guess he was trying to show us a glimpse of what to expect in the album.
Definitely, and what I can say, it is a very as the album cover can entail. It's a very spiritual change. It's a very spiritual. It's a very spiritual album. I'd say like not spiritualism. Like it makes you want to no, like isn't just like it's a really good album, man. It really is a good album. I'd say it's a really like he really wow. Like I don't know. There's a debate as to which one is better. I think that's a debate all in itself. But
Yeah.
I'd say like as an album, like it really
Let's dissect why we think that. Why we have this opinion about this album.
Definitely.
Let's check out the artist's performance. He's a producer, so we have to look at more of the production side, but also we should consider the features on the album.
Yeah. I think I think one thing with Kabza, I think he knows the people that he wants to work with. He knows exactly who he's choosing.
True.
And he knows who will complement the type of music that he wants to make. I'd say that's something that he has managed to master quite well. I think with most of the features on this album, it just gelled so well. It gelled really well. It was a very like I'd say like he really like he really packed in a good number of, because like there's a lot of collaborations on this album. Usually when a producer makes an album, there's a lot of artists, and sometimes it might not work, sometimes it might be all over the place. But with this one, I think he structured it in a very good way. I don't know.
True. No, I could go on and say that this album was structured better than the previous album. He improved his performance on this one.
Yes.
Improved. When we look at the production side of it, you know,
Definitely.
he stepped out of his comfort zone. He touched on different elements on this album, added a few couple of different artists, you know, some up and coming singers and performers on this album. And man, the artist performances, man, it's amazing. Bro.
It's immaculate.
It's immaculate.
It's immaculate.
It's immaculate, bro.
English. Yeah.
The standard is
it's top.
It's high.
I would say in there that I'm impressed with how he managed to. There aren't, as I think this is something you said off camera, like there aren't a lot of club bangers. There's not a lot of like, you know, like, because we know we're like, when you think of Kabza, we think of, you know, the we think of these songs, you know, and there's not a lot of that, you know, when you listen to this album. Like most of the songs, like when you listen to it, these are songs that you could like listen to and you just like, you know, you feel like you're being entranced into a different universe, like just like in terms of like, it's really good music. It doesn't necessarily need you to like be like, you know, upbeat, gyrating a lot, but then it's still good music. It's really good music that you can just enjoy. Quality music, like, so yeah, I'd say for me, the artist performance, he outdid himself. I'd say the performance on this album, I'd say, is close to on par with what he did in the first one. I'd say for myself, I was very impressed with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's move over to the content of this album. When we're looking at the content, what was he trying to bring to us? The album cover already gave us a glimpse of.
I think
what he wanted to
the
do.
album cover, as aforementioned, you know, what the content, what he wanted to bring to us. He wanted to bring us something, you know, that something different.
True.
You know, something very different, something that has not been done by other artists right now. And I think even for himself, I think he wanted to just, you know, do something different in terms of just like the sound. He wanted to, you know, change up the sound, but not change it up to a point where it's completely, you know, unrecognizable, but just different in the fact that different in a good way, different in a very good way.
And I remember watching his Spotify interview after releasing the album. He did state that some people, they want to dance. You know, amapiano is a versatile genre. Some people want to dance. Some people just want to chill. And I did that in the first album. Let me challenge myself and make something that'll resonate to people that just want chilled amapiano. You know, he's tapping into a different zone now. It's more of them to the Kelvin Momo zone. Chilled music, chilled
private school piano, right? Was it
a mixture of both, basically? A mixture of both, basically, because it had elements of private school piano, but the bass drum, the log drum in these songs slaps like the club bangers that he produced.
Yeah.
True. And the featured performance, man, they just clicked with the beats. You know, as Kabza he's a very demanding producer, you know, and they resonated quite well with what he put out for them.
Yeah.
So the content on this album it's amazing too, man. Like it already ticks 2 boxes of our criteria at this moment, and the features, they didn't stray away from what he put out. Like, yo, this is the beat. It's not upbeat. I want something that is chilled, but it will get people moving. They did that.
True. I think I also second that, just to say, like, you know what, the fact that, as Kabza said he wanted to create something that would be chilled for listeners, but then like you can still see people posting songs from this album, and you're like, you know, like you can see them, like you can tell that no, they're enjoying this, you know. True. Like it is, you know, I think, you know, he just really, like, he just managed to make an album that, you know, you can't just like box it in like one, like just like say like, no, it's just a chill album, or like, no, it's just a dance album where you just like, you know, he just, it's a lot, it's a lot. It's very, I can listen to, because it's a 2-hour listen, so like you really like need to listen to it for like a proper amount of time. And when you listen to it, like I think I've listened to it like I think probably 3 times now, and I listened to it like a few, like to before for this review, and like I was just like listening to it again, and then listening to it again, and then listening to it for the 3rd time, and I'm just, you don't just get the same vibe every single time. Every single time you listen to it another time, you're just like, okay, wow, I can get what he's trying to do, but then I can also get I get something else. I don't know if I'm making sense. If I'm,
True,
yeah.
and you did mention that every time we revisit this album, we get some hidden gems in it.
True. During
Every
yeah,
single
true,
time.
true, definitely.
And yeah, man, the content was just amazing.
I think the content was incredible. The content
Amazing.
was. I know we might be waxing lyrical about saying different the same adjective, but like it really was a good album. It really was a very enjoyable album.
True,
Yeah.
true, and Saki on the intro.
Ah, are you telling me
That
to the
prayer,
features now? Features
that
now.
prayer.
Okay.
Now I'm still on the content.
Oh,
The fact
okay.
that
All right.
this is a prayer, it's effectively a prayer, but I still see people playing the song in the most unorthodox places, bro. Like people are sloshed and they're singing BAWO,
But
KHUSELA. Bro, like
oh wow, like oh yeah, just let them think. It's like wow.
KHUSELA bantwana bakho, BAWO. This is a song that you play after leaving group, man. Just to pray to God that you wanna arrive safe back at home. You know, man. Just to add onto the content of on this album.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. Now let's move on to the features. We already
Features.
mentioned them, Saki.
Oh, the features. You know what, man? One thing about Kabza, man, he always just hits it out of the park with features. Like he just manages to. Oh, he has this ability to, as I said before, like he has this ability to find the right people. He finds the right people, and he knows how to use them the best way that they can. I think that just entails. I think that just speaks volumes for the kind of producer that he is.
True.
I think I'd say he's up there with one of the, if not the best producer in the country right now at this moment. Right now, I think and I think it just a good producer knows if a voice will work good with the song, because like you can literally get the best sounding vocalist, but then like if it doesn't gel, then what's the point? So I think like with his features, he just knocked it out of the park. Each and every single feature, they did their part, and they did their part quite well. I mean, for the fact that I can't find a feature, even if maybe like you when you listen to this album you might find like, oh, maybe whoever I didn't sound very well. I think like it's not that like obvious, because
Yeah.
like I think it just goes to the good production that it has, and just like it just complements quite well to what he wanted to do.
And yeah, going back to that Spotify interview, he did mention that on this album, I went out of my comfort zone. I worked with a lot of different artists. We check your spots. I could say that this is a mainstream debut on she got featured on one of the biggest artists in the country, and she delivered on Ingabe. She
Yeah,
delivered,
yeah.
man. Her vocal performance, there is that phase in the song where you know I have I'm a bit skeptical about the notes that she hit, but her performance throughout the song was constantly good. It's just that part of the song. Look at Angelique.
Yeah, Angelic always, yeah, always bangers.
We
Always
look
bangers.
at Nana Tula, and now they're back with ENINGI with a touch of a female angelic voice by Simi.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that song. I enjoyed that song quite a lot, quite a lot. I think what who would you say for you was like the I know that I'm getting on the spot. Who would you say was the best like female vocalist for you on this album?
Ah, man, there's a lot to choose from. I mean, Nia Pell,
I think you know what I asked that question intentionally, just because I wanted to like the fact that like there's quite a lot of like female vocalists on this album, and
true.
there's quite a lot to choose from in terms of like each one did such a great job on that. I mean, like obviously the male vocalists, they did a great job, but I think the female vocalists as well. I think with most of the songs that had female vocalists, I was so taken aback at how well they sounded. It sounded so crisp and so great. I enjoyed every single minute of each song. I think with Nia Pearl,
Mm,
Nkosazana daughter. Yeah, I think after Ebusugu
oh,
from Ziwangale, after
Ziwangale EP,
Ziwangale
yeah.
EP, I was just like I was looking for her there, and when I saw, I was quite, but the one, my favorite, Amy Faku. Amy Fuck, oh my
Oh,
gosh, she's seen it ever since. I think Abalele was that I
Abalele,
think ever
Asibe
since
Happy.
Avisive Hip, I think after they struck gold with those two songs, you just know that whenever you see Emi Faku and Kabza De Small on one album, you know that it's going to be a beautiful collaboration. And I die on the honestly amazing. I think I know that I'm choosing, but I'm just like that was for me. Honestly, I love
Nah, man, she pulled through, man. I
definitely
mean, Skim
definitely
Sam and Sondela, one of the best songs on the album.
yeah.
I know that anyone can pick any song on this album and say it's one of the best, and there would be no discussion about it. But
Hmm.
she really did
She
pull
did
through.
she did
She
definitely
did,
she
man.
did pull through.
Yeah, man. That was a great find by Kabza De Small
Definitely
introducing Ami Faku to the
to the
Amapiano
Amapiano
scene.
sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Another
very.
one that surprised me, Nobutle.
Yes, yes, yeah, true,
Ah,
true.
man. She did the outro,
She did,
Liyangshikonela.
yeah, Langshan, yeah.
She did
And
the outro, man, and she was on the song KOA with Young Stunner and Zetu on it.
that was God, and that was a song that I think this is something that I also love about this album. The fact that the first time that I listened to it, I never had a second thought about Kola. I think I listened to it, I was like, oh, this is pretty nice. You know those songs that you listen to, you're like, oh, this one is it's nice. Then you listen to it again, like, wait a minute, this is actually this is actually
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I think that Kola that was one of those. I hope that was a song that I really enjoyed, and I think obviously she did a pretty great job. I think her vocals were quite good,
Yeah.
quite good.
And
Yeah.
who is Zetu? But still, she performed.
Who is yeah? Who
Who
is
is Zetu? Who is Zetu? We must look her up, man. Maybe she has some music that's going on. Cause
Definitely, yeah.
for Kabza De Small to pick her up and add her on his album and for her to perform this well, man,
Mm.
and bring out one of the best songs on the album, and that's amazing. Young Stunner, that's another feature, a constant feature in Kabza
Constant,
De Small
yeah, yeah,
lately.
true.
And bro, this kid, bro, when he blew up on the scene with Adiwele, you could see that he's destined for.
He's destined for something
Yeah,
real special, real special. I mean, we could say that song, yeah, that song was huge.
yeah,
That
yeah,
song was gigantic. You could tell that now this kid has got something, and he performed
on this album.
on the album, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. I think we could like have a whole segment just on the features alone, just like how all these different art, like, because what, like getting that many artists on an album and like making sure that it works, that's quite hard. That's not an easy thing to do. I think we can like say it, but then like that's not easy. That's like I
true.
think it's a testament to like how well Gaza was able to get all of these voices, all of these people, all of these different artists, and get them together in these different songs and make it work. And I think I'm already excited for part two. I know that it's gonna be a slap banger. It's also I already know. I'm already excited, and yeah, man. Honestly, like yo, nah, he knocked it out of the park with these
Yeah.
features. These features, they did what they needed to do. Oh, I think Vela, Kabza, he just as I've said before, like, Kabza just knows how to get the right features to just gel on his songs.
True. And on the bangers, Kulumimali, Dos and Madumani exchanging the bars on that
Hey,
song.
I Vela Maduman after
It's all
Isolo, hey, like he's just like, what, let me, yeah, man, yeah, and Dos as well, like after what
Umland.
Umland.
Yeah.
I think I was quite impressed. I think that one that's a nice it was a nice exchange. It was a
Yeah.
nice front back type of vibe. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and let's look at MSHINI, man. The second last track from the album with Questa and Bob Mabena on it, and Stana and Lady Do.
Lady Do. Oh yeah, we love Lady Do here. We love Lady Do. Shout out Lady Do.
She is different, man.
She's different. Hey, can you please give the people a rendition of your Lady Do impression, please?
Oh, wow. But no, I mean, she slept us with them palm over tonight. And Questa hopping on the end beat, bro.
But I think yeah, he's been jumping on the. I think he was since I think he was last year he worked with who are those guys, the ones, yeah, Love You Tonight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what I think
MFR Souls.
MFR Souls.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Zio
yeah,
Mortu. Yeah,
yeah. So I think
he's been on the
he's
scene.
been on the scene. So I
Yeah,
think when I didn't really raise my eyebrow. I knew that Krista was gonna come through, and jump on these. I like the fact that most of the hip hop artists. I think maybe I don't know if it's them like trying to do something new, or maybe they're saying that it's maybe they
rejecting the culture.
maybe we're rejecting the. Nah, I think I don't know, but no, I think I enjoyed that. That was a good feature from them.
But
Yeah.
the last feature that I want to look at is
Hmm.
Mr. Brown and John Terenga on Mutserendende.
I had such a tough time saying that name in itself.
We
I don't.
practiced it before we got on shot. Yeah, I was surprised because Mr. Brown, he does Makazi type of music. That's African pop. Yeah, I was surprised, the way that he just slid on KABZA'S beat, man.
I think that just goes to show like how good of a producer he is. I think that's just a testament to how much of a good producer he is.
Yeah, man, let's just jump into the production of this album.
Uh-huh.
What are your thoughts?
Um, I'd say it was a really nah it was good production. I'd say like Kabza De Small. I think he. I know I'm gonna keep on saying the same words, but I think in terms of his production, I think no matter what project it is, if he's associated or he's connected to it, it's the production will always be top standard. It will always sound really good. I think that's the one thing that the one thing that I knew even going into this album. I knew that if like as long as it has Kabza Small, I know that it's gonna be really really great production. And he showed this in this project because it's a very big project. There's a lot of songs, and I think none of the songs suffer, or none of the songs are they. Each song, is taken care of. I think the production in each song is really great.
True, man. I mean, you could look at KHUSELA, man. The electric guitar that backs up Musaki's
Ish,
vocals
ish, yeah,
on
yeah,
that song,
yeah,
man.
true.
Like, I mean, you could even go into Batini, the little subtle
So yeah,
sound effects there.
I like that. Yeah.
Marimba vibes
Mm.
onto it, man. Artwork Sounds too. Shout out to them. They're also on the production team
Yeah.
for that song. And we have hard bass hitting on a hard log drum on the songs Bayasaba and Mali
Yeah.
with Fellow T on Mali. The cowbell is a new
Ding, ding,
introduction.
ding, ding, ding.
Is a
Yeah,
new introduction
I've noticed
into the
that
NOC.
in the Anna scene. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Yeah, and he has put that to good use on Mali because when Pori starts saying he wants some more, more, the cowbell at the background just adds more to it.
Yeah, I think every single voice, every single vocal like sounds crisp, sounds really good, and like I think yeah, top standard production, really just like I think top of the range. But you know that with these guys, you're gonna get top of the range production. So I think production, I would give it a 10 out of 10 for me. I think it was really really good production.
True, man. That
Incredible production.
you can't find any faults to it.
You can't
Even
really
if you
can't.
try, man, you
You
can't
can't.
really
There's
find any
nothing.
faults to it.
There's no point where you could say, I don't know about like this one didn't sound very good, or maybe like I think I think it adds on to the album as a whole. The fact that obviously to have a good album, the production needs to be like top standard, and like Vele, when you have one of the best producers like being responsible for a project, you know that it's gonna sound great.
And yeah,
You
man.
know it's gonna sound great.
Prior to us shooting, remember we tried to figure out what was Do and Kabza doing with the sound effects on UBUMNANDI.
Yeah, true.
know,
Because yeah, we were the sound we weren't sure if it was like a reverb or it was like a
phaser,
tap
flanger,
thing
or
or
whatever.
something like that. It was yeah, it
It
was
was
quite
different. I
interesting.
haven't heard that on Amapiano. Just to reiterate to our point, the point we made earlier that he stepped out of his comfort zone.
True.
He stepped out of his
True.
comfort zone. He pushed his production skills to another
level, a different level, which is a testament to a great artist. I'd say a great artist. A great artist knows where their limits are, but then they know that if they're able to push out of their limits, they know that they're not pushing to a point where it at the expense of them. They know that if they're pushing out of their limits, they're pushing out of their limits to do something good. or like to do something that will sound great. And I think this is an album that is a testament
True.
to that. I think, you know,
True. And the banger, REKERE 2.
okay.
REKERE 2, man. We had a conversation about how the song is more into Fidelity style of music
Yeah.
with the whistle and the rock drum, of course, because it's a piano. But the chords that he added to supplement what he put him and Stark have put on the song, man, it just shows that this guy, he wants to stand out.
Yeah.
He wants to stand out. His style is distinct.
It's very distinct.
Because the song is a banger.
It is. It really
When
is.
the bass drops, you know, like everyone in the club just stands up, and there are no chords. Like, they took me by surprise, you know, like, because it gives you a soft, balmy groove, and then it just takes a turn with the whistle and the lock drum, man.
Sure.
That's why we are comfortable here saying that it's a 10 out of 10 for the production.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
You
it's
know
perfect.
that we I think when we were talking, when we were like sharing notes and just talking about it off camera, we just knew like production. We just had a look and it's like we just knew that production.
Flawless.
It sounded really good. Like it really sounded it sounded really great. It really did.
Flawless, man. We know that Kabza always brings it with the production.
The production always, like he lives in the studio. He lives in the studio. Like every single time you're every time you see him, like he's always posting, like in the studio, like he's always, you know, playing the songs. You can tell that this guy, he's those artists that they just love the music. They don't just do it like for the sake of, for the fame or anything. Not saying that, you know, artists are doing it for the fame, but then he's one of those artists you can tell that when they make music, they want to make music, good music. They want to make incredible music that people would enjoy because they enjoy it as well. And I think if an artist like you, if that love for the craft can be translated onto the music, that's why you'll never find a bad art, a bad project associated with Kabza De Small. The fact that when he puts his effort into a project, he puts his everything, he puts his all, and you know, you can tell with the effort put into this album, you know, and the fact that the production, it just like it sounded really, really great. It sounded really good.
Yeah, that's the work ethic that should be an example to all the up and coming producers who want to be on that pedestal. And yeah, man, now let's have a discussion about the replay value. How will this album age? You know, because replay value is difficult to have in our piano.
In our piano, I think, you know, I think yeah, it's easy to with different genres, but I think with piano, I think because, you know, it's a dance genre at the end of the day. It's a dance genre, and you know, dance music. I mean, obviously, like dance songs, you know, can they really come out of fashion? I think maybe, I don't know. I think it depends, but for this album in particular, I'd say it does have replay value. It has a lot of replay value. I'd say it does have a lot of replay value. I think I do see myself 5 years from now playing. I do see myself playing REKERE 2. REKERE 2. I do see myself, you know, deciding to just play one of the songs. Like I do, definitely.
Not even one, bro. Like
this
album connects to us in emotionally, and I always go back to KHUSELA. That's a timeless piece from Kabza De Small. I feel like that's one of his best songs. KHUSELA, it's different, bro. Saki touched me on that song. she
touched you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, man, because the vocals, they were just so crisp, and it's not the only song. And ISOKA, always Nkosazana daughter. She
Nkosazana, shout out Nkosazana daughter. I love Nkosazana daughter. I don't know. I just love her voice. Her voice, it just yeah.
There's a lot of songs that will age well in the NOC. That will age well. Also internationally, he was performing his new album at the Afro Nation in Portugal. You know, that just shows, and they enjoyed it, man. From the clips that I saw, just shows that this album does have replay value.
A lot of replay value for sure.
We should expect more plays from it. It will be in your rotation, right?
Yeah, definitely, 1000%. Keep in mind, I'm not a very big piano listener. I would say that, you know, most of my piano plugs are from him. Usually, he's the one that guides me to piano music. But I do see myself like literally on on my own, I do see myself listening to this album 5 years from now because it really has a lot of really great music. Even if you're not a big piano fan, like you will enjoy this. You will enjoy this as a body of work. You will enjoy this as just as good music. I think you will enjoy it a lot. So yeah, I would recommend it for just for everyone really. This is just it's a really good album. It's a really good listen. I really enjoyed it at myself as well. Not being a big piano head, just being a person who enjoys good music. I enjoyed this album a lot.
Yeah, man. My thoughts on this, he blew my mind off. I was seeing the album cover, I was like, nah, what is Kabza doing? What is Kabza
I
doing?
think he wanted to throw us off intentionally. I think I wouldn't say throw us off, but then yeah, it caught our attention definitely. But
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't know what to expect. But I think
But yeah, man, like you mentioned, as a body of work, it's concise. There is no skip. There's no skip. There's no song that I skipped on this album. I listened to it. It flowed.
True.
It flowed. Like all the songs, all the track listing, just shows that this guy really takes his time to pick the song. He says he got 81 songs and he's 18 made the album.
Damn.
And for him to structure those songs like this, that's a testament to how this guy, like, he is the king of Amapiano.
King definitely now.
He is, man.
He definitely is now. I give him all the plaudits, all the plaudits. He really is. He really is that guy that he thinks he is. He is that guy.
Yeah, man. And my overall rating for this, I'd have to give it a amazing rating. It is an amazing album. 2 hours. Still, it didn't feel too long.
Sure.
It didn't feel too long. All the songs were enjoyable. All the songs, they had their different vibe, but they connected to you with different emotions, and I like that about this album. I like that about this album, and it's just an amazing album.
Yeah, definitely.
I can name all the superlatives for it. It's just missing that touch to make it perfect, but it's close. It's close. It's close. Regarding that, it's still part one.
Yeah. So
there's a part two that's coming. I don't know when, but it is an amazing album, bro.
So what rating are you gonna give it? We want the numbers. We want the numbers. The numbers.
I'm still stuck between an 8 and a 9. I don't.
You gotta give us something. I mean, you gotta give us something for the title card. You can't. Or you can't just say, Or you're just gonna put that emoji, just like I don't know. It's just amazing, I guess.
Bro, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because it's near perfect. It's near perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. For me, I would say I also would put it in the amazing category. I would say, as a body of work, it was, as he said, it was unskippable. I'd say there were just a few songs that I wouldn't say I hated. I just maybe thought that like okay. But then I'm not gonna take that away from the fact that it's a really good album. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. It's still an amazing album. It's still gonna be in the amazing category. I would say that I don't know. Maybe the next one will take me to perfect. But for now, I'm gonna give it an 8. It's still an amazing album. It's still a great album, a great listen for me, I'd say. And yeah.
Yeah, man. Give us your thoughts. Drop a comment down the comment section if you're on YouTube. Drop a comment, leave a like, a sub, and the notification bell on for when we drop other content. There will be a review that is coming. Give or take. We're taking it to R&B now. So yeah, man, give us your thoughts on this album review. Were we right? Were we wrong? What are your favorite songs in this album? We forgot to mention that. What are your favorite songs in this album?
Come on, jeez, I don't even have. It's UBUMNANDI. That one is my favorite. That one is my favorite. That one is my favorite song. No question.
KHUSELA.
KHUSELA. Oh, I thought you
KHUSELA,
were gonna so
exactly.
I thought you were gonna go REKERE or something. But yeah.
Nah, KHUSELA is my favorite song. And yeah, man, because we got it all covered. We got a sports channel where we touch on everything sports.
Yes.
We do Cristiano Ronaldo talk at the moment. You know, he's in a limbo.
Where is he gonna go? Where is he gonna? Is he gonna stay? Is he gonna go? We'll just have to find out.
And yeah, Ryan Sterling might be moving to Chelsea.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got that covered on the
Yep.
transfer radar, and we'll be having discussions, go debates, you know, match reactions, all on that channel. If you're a sports fan, go check that out. Yeah, drop a like, drop a sub there. And yeah, from us, from the Got It All Covered family, we got it
All covered.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.